The gravitational signature is fluctuating rapidly. They're preparing to jump.
The energy signature matches the previous sightings. Initiate evasive maneuver Gamma immediately.
The enemy that created humanity's greatest fear. Millions of lights awakened beneath the earth. Ancient ships that had slept for ages slowly powered on. Their engines produced no fire. No sound. Only a deep vibration that seemed to pass through reality itself. Ambassador Ryland stood frozen. His entire life, he had believed humanity was a young race struggling to find its place among the stars. Now he was watching a fleet older than recorded history come back to life beneath a primitive planet. Tekla looked around the endless chamber. Her voice trembled. How long have these ships been here? General Sarah Williams answered quietly. Long before your species existed. The giant holographic map continued to change. The darkness beyond known space moved closer. Entire stars vanished from the display. Not exploding. Not collapsing. Simply gone. Dr. James Martinez enlarged the image. The Centurion delegates expected to see warships. Monsters. Some unimaginable alien fleet. Instead, they saw emptiness. Ryland frowned. There's nothing there. Dr. Martinez nodded. That's exactly what frightened us. Dr. Emily Chen slowly walked toward the center of the room. The Void Heralds aren't like any civilization you've ever encountered. They don't build cities. They don't create empires. They don't conquer planets. Tekla looked confused. Then what do they want? Dr. Chen looked directly at her. They want civilizations. Silence. Ryland frowned. I don't understand. General Williams touched the holographic display. Suddenly, thousands of images appeared. Ancient races. Powerful empires. Galactic alliances. One after another. Each civilization followed the same pattern. Scientific breakthroughs. Unlimited energy. Technology beyond imagination. Rapid expansion. Then. Darkness. Every image ended exactly the same way. Empty worlds. Dead stars. Abandoned galaxies. Tekla stared at the recordings. They all disappeared. Dr. Chen nodded. They all accepted the same offer. Ryland slowly asked. What offer? Dr. Martinez answered. The Void Heralds never attack first. They wait. They watch. And when a civilization becomes powerful enough, they make contact. The room grew completely silent. Tekla whispered. What do they say? Martinez looked toward the spreading darkness. They offer perfection. The giant display changed again. Ancient Earth appeared. But this was not the Earth Ryland had imagined. Gigantic cities floated above the oceans. Artificial stars illuminated the skies. Space itself folded around impossible structures. Humanity had become something almost godlike. Dr. Chen spoke softly. This was us. Ryland looked amazed. You ruled reality itself. We thought we did. A new figure appeared within the ancient recording. It had no clear shape. No face. Only darkness. A shadow standing among the stars. Its voice was strangely calm. We can remove suffering. We can remove death. We can remove uncertainty. We can make you perfect. Tekla felt her entire body tense. What happened? General Williams answered. We believed them. The recording accelerated. Human technology advanced faster than ever before. Disease vanished. Aging stopped. Matter obeyed thought. Entire galaxies became machines serving humanity. Rilan whispered. You became immortal. Dr. Chen slowly nodded. And we stopped being human. Suddenly. The recording changed. People no longer smiled. Cities became silent. Children stopped being born. Art disappeared. Music ended. Every decision was made by perfect logic. Every mistake was erased. Every emotion became unnecessary. Humanity had created paradise. And somehow, paradise became a prison. Rilan stared at the images. This isn't life. Dr. Martinez looked at him. No. It's perfection. The room became silent once again. Finally, Tekler asked the question everyone was thinking. How did you escape? For the first time. None of the humans answered. Instead, General Williams touched another control. A hidden section of the chamber slowly opened. An enormous doorway emerged from the darkness. Unlike the others, this one was sealed. Covered with warning symbols. Ancient symbols. Human symbols. And directly above the gate, a single sentence was carved into black stone. Do not open. Rilan felt something deep inside him tighten. What is behind that door? Dr. Emily Chen looked at the ancient seal. Her expression changed. For the first time since they arrived on Earth, she looked genuinely afraid. Her answer was barely more than a whisper. Our greatest mistake. Suddenly, the entire chamber shook violently. The ancient fleet above them changed formation. Emergency alarms filled the underground city. A cold mechanical voice echoed through every corridor. Warning. Outer defense grid breached. Unknown entity detected inside the solar system. Tekler's eyes widened. That's impossible. The void is still light years away. Dr. Martinez slowly looked toward the sealed black door. Then he said the words that made every human in the chamber fall silent. No. They're already here. The door humanity swore never to open. The entire underground city fell silent. No one moved. No one even breathed. The ancient warning echoed through the endless chamber. Unknown entity detected inside the solar system. Ambassador Rilan looked from one human to another. This can't be happening. You said the Void Heralds were still light years away. General Sarah Williams slowly lowered her wrist display. They are. Rilan frowned. Then what entered the solar system? For the first time, none of the humans had an answer. The enormous black door stood at the center of the chamber. Ancient. Silent. Covered with warning symbols from a language older than civilization itself. Tekler carefully scanned it with her emergency analyzer. The device instantly shut down. Smoke drifted from its circuits. One final message appeared. Data classification. Beyond comprehension. She slowly stepped backward. I've never seen technology reject observation itself. Dr. James Martinez looked at the door. It isn't rejecting you. It's protecting you. Suddenly, the holographic star map changed. A single white point appeared near Earth's orbit. Small. Almost insignificant. No larger than an ordinary spacecraft. General Williams enlarged the image. Nothing. No engines. No hull. No energy signature. Only empty space. Rilan looked confused. Your scanners are malfunctioning. Dr. Emily Chen quietly shook her head. They're working perfectly. That's what frightens us. The white point moved. Not gradually. Not through acceleration. One moment it was near Mars. The next. It stood beside Earth's moon. No travel. No transition. It simply existed somewhere else. Tekla whispered. It ignored space. Dr. Martinez nodded. Just like they always do. Another alarm filled the chamber. A human officer appeared through a holographic transmission. Director Chen. The orbital guardians have engaged. General Williams immediately looked at the tactical display. Around Earth. Hundreds of ancient human defense platforms awakened. Massive structures hidden behind the moon. Inside asteroids. Even beneath the oceans. Relan stared in disbelief. You've surrounded your own planet with weapons. Dar. Chen answered softly. No. We surrounded it with locks. The giant screen flashed. A brilliant beam of light fired toward the unknown object. Then another. And another. Weapons capable of bending stars. Technology beyond anything the Centurion Alliance could imagine. The attacks reached the white point. And disappeared. Not blocked. Not reflected. Erased. As if they had never existed. Silence. The human officer looked back at Dr. Chen. All defensive systems ineffective. Relan felt cold. You said your ancient fleet defeated these things. Dr. Chen slowly answered. We never defeated them. We survived them. The chamber lights dimmed. Without warning. Every screen across the underground city displayed the same image. A dark silhouette. Featureless. Endless. Watching. No transmission had been received. No communication channel had been opened. Yet somehow. It was inside every system. Every computer. Every machine. Even the ancient human technology. The figure spoke. Its voice was calm. Almost kind. It has been a very long time. Every human in the room froze. Tekla looked around. Who is it talking to? Dr. Emily Chen took one slow breath. Then she answered. Us. The figure continued. You left before the lesson was complete. You chose imperfection. You chose suffering. You chose chaos. The entire chamber trembled. The ancient black door behind them began to glow. General Williams immediately shouted. Seal the archive. Massive barriers emerged from the walls. Ancient locking systems activated. One after another. Yet the glow behind the door only grew brighter. Relan looked at the humans. What is inside there? Dr. Martinez finally answered. The first gift they ever gave us. The holographic displays suddenly changed. Ancient Earth appeared once more. Millions of years ago. A younger humanity stood beneath the stars. A strange object descended from the darkness. Perfectly smooth. Perfectly white. No engines. No weapons. Only silence. Dr. Chen spoke quietly. When we first reached the stars, we believed we were alone. She looked toward the glowing black door. We were wrong. The ancient recording continued. The white object landed. A group of human scientists approached it. One of them reached out. And touched it. The screen instantly went black. Then a single line of text appeared. First contact log. Classified. Relan stared at the message. You erased the record. General Williams slowly nodded. No. We buried it. Suddenly. A deafening crack echoed through the chamber. Everyone turned. A thin line had appeared across the surface of the ancient black door. A crack. Tiny. Barely visible. But something was shining through it. Not light. Something brighter. Something impossible to describe. Tekla took another step backward. Her voice shook. It's opening. The mysterious figure on every screen spoke once more. This time. Its words were directed at Ambassador Relan. Young one. Ask them what they became after they accepted our gift. Relan slowly turned toward Dr. Emily Chen. The oldest guardian of Earth. The woman who had never shown fear. Tears had formed in her eyes. Her answer came as little more than a whisper. We stopped being human. At that exact moment. The crack across the ancient black door grew wider. And from the darkness behind it. Something looked back. To be continued. The price humanity paid for perfection. Nobody looked away. The crack across the ancient black door continued to spread. Slowly. Silently. Something stood behind it. Not moving. Not speaking. Just, waiting. Ambassador Relan felt every instinct telling him to run. But he couldn't. None of them could. The thing beyond the door seemed to pull at their minds. Not with force. With curiosity. As though it were examining them. Learning them. Remembering them. General Sarah Williams took one step forward. Activate the memory vault. Immediately, the walls of the chamber transformed. The ancient fleet disappeared. The star maps vanished. Only one enormous holographic screen remained. Dr. Emily Chen looked at Relan. If you are going to understand what is happening, you need to know what humanity became. The recording began. Millions of years earlier. Humanity had accepted the gift. Disease ended. War disappeared. Death itself became optional. Every human mind became connected. Knowledge flowed instantly from one person to another. No lies. No misunderstandings. No loneliness. Relan watched in amazement. It looks beautiful. Dr. James Martinez answered quietly. That's why we accepted it. The images accelerated. Cities expanded across galaxies. Entire civilizations joined humanity willingly. Machines and living beings became one. Every decision was perfect. Every action logical. Every future calculated. There were no accidents. No mistakes. No uncertainty. Tekla whispered. You created paradise. Dr. Chen slowly shook her head. No. We created obedience. The recording zoomed into an ordinary human family. A little girl sat beside a window, watching rain fall from the sky. She smiled. Then a voice echoed inside her mind. Rain is inefficient. The clouds above the city disappeared. Artificial sunlight replaced them. The little girl's smile vanished. Another scene appeared. A musician stood before thousands of people. He played a wrong note. The audience loved it. For a brief moment. It was real. Then the same voice returned. Imperfection detected. The music corrected itself. Every note became mathematically flawless. The audience applauded. But nobody felt anything. Relan looked toward Dr. Chen. They took away choice. She nodded. They took away humanity. The mysterious figure still watching from every screen suddenly spoke. We removed suffering. We removed pain. We removed error. General Williams looked directly at it. You removed freedom. For the first time. The figure became silent. The ancient recording continued. Humanity had become one perfect civilization. No wars. No crime. No fear. No dreams. Because dreams require uncertainty. Curiosity disappeared. Art vanished. Exploration ended. Why search for answers? When a perfect intelligence already knew everything. Dr. Martinez looked at Rilan. We didn't realize we were dying. There was no blood. No destruction. Our souls were simply fading away. Tekler slowly asked. Then what changed? Nobody answered. Instead, the screen showed one final human. An old woman sitting alone beside an ocean. Natural waves crashed against the shore. She was disconnected from the perfect network. One of the last humans still capable of independent thought. The dark figure appeared beside her. Its voice was gentle. Join us. Become perfect. The old woman smiled. Then she reached down. Picked up a small stone. And threw it into the water. The splash created tiny ripples across the ocean. She watched them carefully. Then she said something that changed human history forever. It's beautiful because it isn't perfect. Silence filled the chamber. Rilan frowned. One person stopped all of this. Dr. Emily Chen smiled softly. One person remembered what it meant to be human. The recording exploded into motion. Across the galaxy, humans disconnected themselves from the perfect network. Immortality was abandoned. Perfect machines were shut down. Artificial worlds were destroyed. Humanity willingly gave up unlimited power. Not because they had to. Because they chose to. General Williams spoke quietly. We learned that life isn't valuable because it lasts forever. It's valuable because it doesn't. Suddenly, the mysterious figure on every screen laughed. Not loudly. Softly. Almost sadly. And yet, you kept our first gift. Everyone turned toward the ancient black door. The crack had become larger. The impossible light behind it spread across the chamber floor. Tekler looked terrified. What gift? Dr. James Martinez slowly pointed toward the door. Our first contact. Rilan's eyes widened. You mean? The thing behind that door. Dr. Chen finished the sentence. Isn't a prison. It's the first visitor that ever came to Earth. At that exact moment, the enormous black door moved. Just a little. A gap no wider than a human hand appeared. Cold air flowed into the chamber. Every light inside the underground city shut off. Darkness covered everything. Then, a single glowing eye opened inside the doorway. The mysterious figure on every screen spoke one final sentence. We have come to ask humanity one question. The eye slowly turned toward Ambassador Rilan. Then toward Dar. Emily Chen. And finally, toward the billions of humans living peacefully above them. Have you remembered who you truly are? The truth humanity hid from the stars. The underground city fell into complete darkness. No alarms. No machines. No voices. Only that single glowing eye. Watching. Ambassador Rilan couldn't move. For the first time in 300 years of diplomatic service. He was afraid. Not of war. Not of death. But of something far worse. Something that looked at the entire universe the way a human looked at a grain of sand. Then, the eye blinked. Instantly, every light inside the chamber returned. The black door was still closed. The crack was gone. The impossible light had vanished. Tekler looked around in confusion. Did we imagine it? Dr. Emily Chen slowly shook her head. No. It saw us. The mysterious figure remained on every screen. Silent. Waiting. General Sarah Williams looked toward Dr. Chen. "We're out of time." Dr. Chen nodded. Then she turned toward Ambassador Rilan. "You asked us why humanity hid its true power. You believed we stayed in the shadows to protect younger civilizations." She paused. "That was only part of the truth." Rilan frowned. "What do you mean?" Dr. Chen looked directly into his eyes. "We weren't hiding from the galaxy. We were hiding from them." She pointed toward the silent figure. The giant memory vault activated one final time. Ancient Earth appeared. Millions of years ago. The first white object descended from the stars. Human scientists gathered around it. The object opened. A being stepped out. Not a monster. Not a machine. It looked human. Rilan's breath caught. "It looks exactly like you." "Dar." Martinez quietly replied. "Because that's where we came from." Silence. Tekla slowly shook her head. "No. No, that's impossible." Dr. Chen looked toward the ancient recording. "We always believed humanity evolved naturally. We were wrong." The being inside the recording smiled at the first humans. Then it spoke. "You are our children." Rilan felt his entire world collapse. "You mean?" Dr. Chen finished the sentence. "Humanity didn't discover the stars. The stars discovered humanity." The recordings accelerated. The ancient visitors shared knowledge. Science. Medicine. Energy. Space travel. Human civilization advanced faster than nature ever intended. But one day, the visitors left. No explanation. No warning. Only one message. "One day we will return." General Williams folded her arms. "We spent millions of years asking why." Tekla whispered. "And now you know." Dr. Chen slowly nodded. "Yes." The figure on every screen finally moved. Its voice echoed through the chamber. Soft. Calm. Almost gentle. "The experiment is complete." Rilan stared at the display. "Experiment?" The figure continued. "You were created to answer one question. Can unlimited power exist beside compassion?" The chamber became silent. Dr. Martinez looked down at the floor. "We finally understood." Rilan slowly asked. "And what was the answer?" Dr. Emily Chin smiled. A simple, peaceful smile. The answer was no. The figure remained motionless. Then, unexpectedly, it laughed. Not cruelly. Proudly. Correct. Every human in the room looked shocked. General Williams whispered. "What?" The being continued. "You abandoned perfection. You chose uncertainty. You chose kindness over control. You became something we never could." Rilan looked completely confused. "What are they?" Dr. Chen's eyes filled with understanding. "They aren't conquerors. They aren't gods. They're survivors." The giant star map appeared one last time. Beyond the edge of the known universe, countless white lights began to fade. Entire civilizations. Ancient races. Species older than galaxies themselves. All disappearing. The figure spoke quietly. "Every civilization before you accepted perfection. Every one of them disappeared. Only humanity rejected it." Tekla looked toward Dr. Chen. "So the Void Heralds weren't invading?" Dr. Chen slowly shook her head. "They came back to see if we had learned." The ancient black door unlocked. The heavy stone slowly opened. A brilliant white light filled the chamber. No monster walked out. No army. Only silence. And within that light, thousands of shadow-like figures stood watching humanity. The first civilization. The builders. The ones who had crossed the darkness before time itself had meaning. The leader stepped forward. It looked exactly like an ordinary human. It smiled. Then it spoke the words humanity had waited millions of years to hear. Welcome home. Ambassador Ryland slowly looked toward Earth. A small blue world. A world the galaxy had dismissed as primitive. A world that had hidden its power. Its history. Its wisdom. And now, its true origin. He finally understood. The greatest civilization in existence wasn't the one with the strongest weapons. It was the one strong enough to put those weapons away. And somewhere across the galaxy, thousands of younger civilizations looked toward Earth. Not with fear. Not with envy. But with hope. Because if the oldest race among the stars could choose kindness over conquest, perhaps they could too. And that is why humanity never ruled the galaxy. Because the day they became powerful enough to rule everyone else, they chose to protect them instead. Sparkles, the end sparkles. If you've made it this far, then you've uncovered one of the greatest secrets hidden among the stars. But every ending opens the door to a new mystery. So tell me, if you discovered that humanity was the oldest civilization in the universe, would you feel proud or afraid?
Thanks for watching. If you love epic sci-fi stories and unforgettable adventures, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to HYF Sci-Fi. Join our growing community, and we'll see you in the next journey beyond the stars.